Welcome back to the channel Wisdom of Stoicism. Have you ever felt like you're living life at half speed? Like there's a version of you that's stronger, smarter, and more disciplined, but it's trapped under fear, doubt, and excuses? You know it's there. You feel it every time you hesitate, every time you procrastinate, every time you let fear win. That weaker version of you, it's the one that stays silent when you should speak up. The one that chooses comfort over challenge. The one that quits when life gets hard. But here's the truth, if you don't kill that weak version of yourself, it will kill your dreams. It will kill your potential. It will kill the life you could have lived. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and emperors of Rome, faced that same internal battle. Every day he fought the enemy within fear, doubt, weakness. And every day he chose strength. He chose discipline. He chose greatness. And now it's your turn. In this video, I'm going to show you how to destroy that weak version of yourself using the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. This isn't about feel-good motivation. This is about real, raw strategies to build mental toughness, crush self-doubt, and become unstoppable. Because here's the harsh reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to make you stronger. That battle? It's yours to fight, but you don't have to fight it alone. Stoic philosophy will give you the weapons to win. So, if you're tired of living life on the sidelines, if you're ready to face your fears and crush your excuses, this is your moment. Are you ready to kill the weak version of yourself and rise as the strongest, most powerful version of who you were meant to be? Then let's begin. Understanding the weakness within. Have you ever felt like there's a version of yourself that's holding you back? A weaker version of you that's scared to try, scared to fail, and scared to succeed? Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest philosophers, knew that we all have that version of ourselves lurking deep inside. It's the part of us that's filled with doubts, excuses, and fears. But here's the thing, that version of you isn't real. It's just a series of thoughts and habits that you've allowed to control you. And today we're going to change that. When Marcus wrote his meditations, he wasn't just writing for himself, he was writing for us. He understood that weakness comes from the mind, not from the body. He believed that we let fear, hesitation, and laziness weaken us. And when we allow those things to take over, we stop growing, we stop living, and we stop being the person we're meant to be. Now, think about your own life. When was the last time you felt weak? Maybe it was that time you hesitated to speak up because you were afraid of what others would think. Or that moment when you avoided a challenge because you didn't believe you could handle it. We all have these moments, and it's normal to feel weak sometimes. But what matters is what you do next. You see, weakness isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop over time when you give in to fear and comfort. And that's exactly what Marcus was warning us about. If we let that weak version of ourselves take control, we will never achieve our true potential. But here's the good news. You have the power to change. You can choose to stop listening to that weak voice in your head and start taking action. Marcus believed that you control your thoughts, your actions, and your mindset. And if you can master those, you can destroy that weak version of yourself once and for all. So why does this matter? Because in today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise. We're constantly told what we should do, what we should want, and how we should live. But most of it is just distraction. It's the voice of weakness telling you to play it safe, to avoid challenges, and to stay comfortable. But Marcus Aurelius didn't buy into any of that. He knew that the path to strength was through struggle. He knew that to become great, you had to push through the hard times, the discomfort, and the doubt. You had to face the weak version of yourself and say, "No more." So, let's pause for a second and think about this. What is that weak version of yourself telling you right now? Is it telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, that it's easier to just stay where you are? We all hear that voice at some point, but it's time to recognize it for what it is. Just a series of excuses keeping you from becoming who you're truly meant to be. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how the Stoic mindset can help you destroy that weakness. We'll break down the strategies that Marcus Aurelius used to become the strongest version of himself. Because the truth is, you can kill that weak version of yourself. And once you do, you'll unlock a level of strength and clarity you never knew you had. But first, think about this. What would your life look like if you didn't listen to that weak voice anymore? What could you achieve if you stopped letting fear, doubt, and hesitation control your actions? The answer is simple: everything. The Stoic mindset to destroy weakness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." What does this mean? Well, it means that we fear things that don't even matter, things that hold us back from becoming the best version of ourselves. If you want to overcome weakness, you first need to understand how your mind works. And in Stoicism, the key is simple: control what you can and let go of everything else. So often, we waste time stressing over things beyond our control. That job you didn't get, what people think about you, how the world is changing. All of these things take up mental space, leaving you no room to focus on what actually matters, your actions. The truth is, most of what we worry about is out of our hands. Marcus knew this. He knew that the only power you have is over your mind. Imagine a day in your life. Maybe you get stuck in traffic, and you're late for something important. You start getting upset, frustrated, maybe you even lash out. But in that moment, you're giving away your peace. You're letting something outside your control determine your mood. The Stoics would tell you to focus only on what you can change, your reaction. You cannot control the traffic, but you can control your response. This is the foundation of Stoic strength. The second lesson Marcus teaches us is embracing discomfort. In fact, he believed that we should seek it out. Why? Because it's through discomfort that we grow stronger. Think about a Roman soldier. His training wasn't easy. It was harsh, often painful. But he knew that by putting himself through suffering, he would be ready for anything that came his way. Now, let's bring this idea into the modern world. How many of you avoid things that make you uncomfortable? Maybe it's a tough workout, a difficult conversation, or stepping outside of your comfort zone in some way. The truth is, avoiding discomfort only keeps you weak. But when you choose to face challenges head-on, you become resilient. And it's this resilience that destroys the weak version of yourself. For example, let's talk about something simple: waking up early. It's uncomfortable at first, but once you start doing it every day, you get used to it. And eventually, you start feeling the power that comes with taking control of your time. You don't need to wait for motivation to strike. You just act. Every time you choose discomfort, you get one step closer to killing that weak version of yourself. Another powerful Stoic tool is negative visualization. This might sound strange at first, but it's one of the most effective techniques for building mental strength. Marcus believed in imagining the worst possible outcome so that when things don't go as planned, you're not blindsided. Here's how it works. Let's say you're working on a big project or goal. Instead of only picturing success, imagine that it could fail. Visualize losing everything you've worked for. Now, this may seem like a negative thought process, but it actually prepares you for life's unpredictability. When you're mentally prepared for the worst, setbacks don't sting as much. In fact, you'll be more focused on solutions and less on feeling sorry for yourself. Think of it like this: when you accept that everything could go wrong, you free yourself from the fear of failure. You no longer walk around wondering, what if? Instead, you know exactly how to handle the challenges when they come. When you start practicing these Stoic principles, you'll notice that the small worries you used to have won't bother you anymore. You'll stop sweating the small stuff because you'll realize you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. This is how Marcus Aurelius became unshakable, even in the face of wars and personal losses. So, remember, the key to killing your weakness is in your mind. The more you control your thoughts, the more you can control your life. Embrace discomfort. Prepare for the worst. Focus only on what you can change. This mindset will begin to shape you into the person you were meant to be, the person who doesn't back down when life gets tough. Practical steps to kill the weak version. Now that we understand the weakness within us, it's time to take action. But here's the thing, you won't become strong just by wishing for it. You need to put in the work. Marcus Aurelius himself believed in building discipline, not waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is something you can control every single day. So, let's break this down into practical steps that you can start applying right now. If you truly want to kill the weak version of yourself, this is where you begin. Step 1. Discipline over motivation. First, let's talk about discipline. It's easy to get fired up at the beginning of a new goal or project. We all have those moments where we feel unstoppable, like we can take on the world. But what happens when that excitement fades? What happens when you wake up tired or faced with an obstacle? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation leaves you. It's what gets you out of bed even when you don't feel like it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journals, reminding himself to stay on track no matter how he felt. He knew that real strength comes from doing the work, even when no one is watching. You don't have to wait for motivation to hit you in the morning. Instead, create habits that force discipline. Start small. Set yourself up with simple routines. Maybe it's getting out of bed right when the alarm goes off or making your bed every day. These small, disciplined actions will build momentum and make it easier to tackle bigger challenges later. Step 2. The power of reflection. Next, let's talk about the power of reflection. Marcus Aurelius spent every night reflecting on his day. He didn't just go to bed without thinking about what happened. He asked himself, what did I do well today? What did I fail at? What can I do better tomorrow? This reflection helped him stay grounded and focused on his growth. You don't need to overcomplicate this. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Think about the choices you made, the challenges you faced, and how you handled them. Were you disciplined or did you give in to weakness? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about getting clearer on what works and what doesn't. If you start making this a habit, you'll begin to see patterns. Maybe you noticed that you procrastinated on something important. Reflecting on that will help you adjust your approach the next day. It's like having a conversation with yourself, learning from your mistakes and celebrating your wins. Step 3. Seek voluntary hardship. Now, let's get uncomfortable. And I mean that literally. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is embracing discomfort. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, often put himself through difficult situations to train his mind and body. Whether it was fasting or enduring physical hardship, he knew that discomfort builds strength. In today's world, it's easy to avoid discomfort. We're used to comfort and convenience, but the truth is you need to challenge yourself. Start with small things that push you outside your comfort zone. Take a cold shower in the morning, skip a meal to practice discipline, or try an intense workout you've been avoiding. These acts of voluntary hardship will teach you resilience. It's about building mental toughness. Each time you face discomfort, you get stronger. You train your mind to push through resistance instead of running from it. And remember, it doesn't have to be extreme. Start with small, intentional challenges, and over time, they will make you unbreakable. Step 4. Cut off excuses. Lastly, let's talk about excuses. Everyone has them. I don't have enough time. I'm too tired. I'm not good enough. The truth is, excuses are the weak version of you talking. And if you want to kill that version, you need to stop listening to those excuses. Marcus Aurelius believed that we have the power to choose our reactions. When an obstacle comes your way, you can either make an excuse or make a decision to act. Every time you make an excuse, you give up your power. Every time you choose action instead, you reclaim control. Here's the hard truth. If you keep making excuses, you'll never change. The weak version of you will continue to win. But if you start taking responsibility, if you stop blaming outside circumstances and start taking action, you'll start seeing real change. Think about the areas in your life where you're making excuses. Is it your career, your health, your relationships? Take a step back and ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped making excuses and started taking action? Start small, but start today. Remember, these steps are not easy. They're designed to challenge you, to push you past the limits of your comfort. But it's only by embracing these challenges that you'll begin to see the person you were always meant to be. So, right now, make a choice. Will you keep living as the weak version of yourself, full of excuses and fears? Or will you take the first step towards becoming someone stronger, more disciplined, and more resilient? The choice is yours. The path is clear. Now it's time to take action. Building an unbreakable Stoic mind. Marcus Aurelius faced challenges every day, wars, betrayals, the weight of an empire on his shoulders. But what made him so strong wasn't his power, his army, or his status. It was his mind. He had an unbreakable mindset, and that's what we're talking about today. It's not about being perfect. It's about building a mind that can handle anything life throws your way. Now, let's break down how you can develop that kind of strength the Stoic way. Strength that isn't about lifting weights or showing off. It's about internal strength. The kind that keeps you calm when everything else is falling apart. 1. Accept the present moment. The first step to building a strong mind is to accept reality as it is. And I get it, it's not easy. We all have dreams, hopes, and plans. But sometimes life doesn't go the way we want it to. Maybe you lost a job, maybe a relationship didn't work out. The Stoics taught us that, instead of resisting what's happening, we should accept it. Not in a way that says we're okay with it, but in a way that helps us focus on what we can control. Think about it, when you fight against reality, it drains your energy. It causes unnecessary stress. But when you accept it, even if it's tough, it frees you up to take action. So, instead of saying, "This shouldn't be happening," try telling yourself, "This is what's happening, and I'll deal with it." It's a simple shift, but it makes a huge difference in how you handle life. 2. Detach from opinions. Here's something that might surprise you. Other people's opinions don't define you. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else thinks. You post something on social media, and you're waiting for approval. You worry about how others see you. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true strength lies in not being shaken by other people's judgments. It's hard to do this at first. I know, we all want to be liked, accepted, and praised. But when you let others control how you feel, you lose your power. Stoicism teaches us that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. When you stop relying on validation from others, you start living for yourself, not for anyone else. 3. Focus on virtue. The Stoics believed that the most important thing in life was virtue. Not money, not fame, not status, virtue. And what does that mean? It means living in alignment with your values. It means choosing honesty, kindness, courage, and integrity, even when it's hard. Think about it this way. You can't control how people treat you, but you can control how you respond. If you're faced with a situation where you can take the easy way out or do the right thing, Stoicism tells you to always choose virtue. Not because it's easy, but because it builds a strong character that won't bend under pressure. When you focus on living a virtuous life, you're building an unbreakable foundation. It's not about what others think of you, but how you feel about yourself at the end of each day. Did you act with integrity? Did you treat people with respect? Did you stay true to your values? That's the kind of strength you want to develop. 4. Embrace challenges, don't avoid them. One of the hardest parts of growing stronger is realizing that you won't get stronger by avoiding discomfort. And that's a tough pill to swallow. We live in a world where we're constantly looking for shortcuts, ways to make life easier. But Marcus Aurelius teaches us that strength comes from embracing challenges, not running from them. Think about the last time you faced something difficult. Maybe it was a workout that pushed you to your limits or a tough conversation you didn't want to have. Instead of avoiding it, embrace it. When you face challenges head-on, you're not only building physical strength, you're also training your mind to handle adversity. The Stoic way isn't about making life perfect. It's about making life meaningful, no matter how hard it gets. Every obstacle is an opportunity to build resilience. Every setback is a chance to come back stronger. So, let's recap. To build an unbreakable mind, you have to accept reality as it is. You have to stop seeking validation from others and focus on living by your values. And, most importantly, you have to embrace challenges, not run from them. This is the Stoic mindset, the mindset that will help you handle whatever life throws at you. Remember, it's not about being invincible. It's about knowing that, no matter what happens, you will always stand strong. You've heard the truth. The battle is within you. Every day, that weak version of yourself is trying to hold you back. But you have the power to defeat it. You don't have to let fear, doubt, or laziness control you anymore. You're stronger than that. It's time to make a choice. Are you going to keep living small? Or are you ready to step into the life you were meant to live? Remember, Marcus Aurelius didn't conquer the world by avoiding discomfort. He faced it head-on every single day. And so can you. The weak version of you is already fading away if you choose to let it. So don't wait for tomorrow. Take one step today. Just one small action toward becoming who you truly are. If you're ready to start making that change, hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you subscribe for more Stoic wisdom that will help you grow every single day. Together, let's build a life of strength, purpose, and unstoppable resilience. Now, go ahead, kill that weak version of yourself and embrace the stronger, better you. Because your best life starts right now.